is just fantastic. Captain's log, subdates 210900.5. I don't think I've ever eaten steak of a nacelle, but using crewman Bork's lobes to buff the exhausts was a fantastic idea. I might just move him here permanently, mostly for convenience, but also because I know Ferengi really don't like the heat. Back in the 65th episode of the Exhibition of Stupid People, we discussed an incident concerning a then creator called Princxss, with an X for the E on Cess, so I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce that. I tried phonics and I still couldn't get it right. And Nintendo, because Nintendo had threatened a lawsuit against Princxss. The reason why is because they claim to own the right to the first 4 letters, P, O, K and E, because in that order, it's too much like Pokemon and not like the word poke. In that incident, I could relate, because I had a Judge Moist Pokeball. Well, it was just called a Moist Ball, a Judge Moist Ball, and when I attempted to put it on Teespring, it got claimed straight away. So I took her side, as was the right decision because Nintendo, like Disney and other franchises, like to be a bit trigger-happy on what they think is their intellectual property. As I've yet to receive a claim for my Moist Windu, Ocean Moister, Imperial Guard Meg High, or Judge Moist, one can safely say other franchises might be a little less inclined to be so trigger-happy on Star Trek for having a version of a Defiant class vessel or a shuttle pod from Enterprise, because I like to mix things up here. Nintendo suck though. They've been called out multiple times for it, so I took her side. I also took her side because Pokimane is okay, Princxss is not. I assume it's because one is a bit more advertiser friendly, the other has content on Pornhub. As a consequence of the lawsuit, Princxss renamed to Digital Princess. And Digital Princess is also known as Marissa. Marissa has over 29,000 followers on Instagram, over 136,000 followers on Twitter, over 2.2 million followers on TikTok. Let's just go with well-known, successful influencer. Oh, and as I know her from Twitch, 62,000 followers. All of this has been put in the bin temporarily. We won't know for sure what has transpired until the 27th of September, so in, 26 days' time. Maybe. It depends on how fast the justice system is in America. Because Marissa, aka Digital Princess, has gotten herself into a bit of trouble. The event in question took place on the 25th of August in Fort Myers, Florida. If there is a consequence of this, by the way, one where, for example, Marissa serves time, which is unlikely but you never know, there will be a Halls of Injustice on it. And while I've mentioned Halls of Injustice, you are going to notice a remarkable familiarity between this and the Halls of Injustice on Verphy Kudi. I'm going to link both videos on Verphy Kudi in the pinned comment down below with all the sources for this video. So on August the 25th in Fort Myers, Florida, as earlier stated, Marissa was arrested after a neighbor noticed her 4-year-old son wandering around outside, which sounds like a nothing really, doesn't it? But there's a little more to this. You see, it was the evening, late evening, so we can call it night. And Marissa was not at home, nor was anyone else for that matter. Ordinarily you would think, oh, get a babysitter. Well, she didn't do that. We'll get to why in a moment. She also didn't think to leave with her family, but there's a reason for that. You see, a month earlier, she had been living in Colorado. Colorado is a fair distance away from Florida, unless my knowledge of the US map is wrong. So where had Marissa gone? Well, she eventually did reappear at home and told the police that she had in fact gone to go and get some detergent for clothes because her child's bedsheets were filthy and had not been gone long. But there's an issue here. When she arrived, she was holding a half-empty bottle of Tide detergent with no receipt as proof of purchase. Then again, who sells half a bottle, or how badly was the lid screwed on that you managed to empty half of it on the floor? Understandably, the police didn't buy this, as if the half-empty bottle wasn't enough of a giveaway, so her rights were read to her, to which Marissa then changed aspects of the story. This is where it gets interesting. This is where the similarities with Verphy Kudi kick in. Marissa told the police that at 9 PM she put her 4-year-old child to bed, which is quite late, I will concede, for a 4-year-old. She then went to go and meet with a friend who lives 11 miles away from where she resides. The police didn't buy your excuse because you didn't take your child to the shop with you, which you could have done. 4-year-olds will sleep in the car, if need be. Then again, the washing could have been done the next day. It was hardly an emergency. I'm almost certain this is where the police started poking holes and where they realized, I smell bull. So hearing the new reason, air quotes around the word reason, the police were even more less impressed, especially when she said that she made a grave mistake and that her anxiety made her lie. As someone that suffers with anxiety, please don't weaponize it. We anxious people within the anxious community, that's not real by the way, I'm being a dick. We do not appreciate, no one does, the idea of weaponizing something like anxiety. It also won't work. No one's going to buy it. Shortly after she was taken into custody, her mother had come from Colorado to take custody of the child. It is not known yet whether or not Marissa has regained custody of her son. As the police have pointed out, the area where Cloutier, Marissa, and her son reside is surrounded by bodies of water, wildlife, and vehicle traffic, as well as other potentially dangerous hazards for an unsupervised child. On the 27th of August, 2 days after being arrested, news of this shared around social media like wildfire, and Marissa did in fact address it on a now deleted TikTok video, but I have a copy of it, so I'm going to play it.
I just wanted to come on here and say that I do see your comments, I do see your concerns. I'm not at all trying to avoid or hide the situation. For those of you who know how legal stuff works, legally I'm only allowed to say so much regarding it, and I know there's a lot of things being posted online that are very out of context and very much untrue, so please do not believe everything that you will read on the internet.
Don't believe everything you read on the internet. Things being posted online are out of context.
You left your son in an empty house on his own to go meet up with friends. I'm not entirely sure where the context is being taken out of, unless that story is fabricated, yet this has come directly from the police. Someone smelling a little sus. Because she was called out for that video as well, she has gone on to private her TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, her backup Twitter as well. Understandably, because there's only so much flack one person can take, and I'm not entirely sure how you rebuild what you had, because one negligent act involving a child is career suicide. Online, you will be pilloried, and rightly so. Granted, I should insert now, this is all alleged, and we won't know the truth of this until September the 27th at the earliest. But that's okay. We're a patient bunch here. I should now say, for the sake of it, going scorched earth on social media is one of the dumbest things you can do, because it doesn't prove your innocence, it doesn't protect you. The internet, like an elephant, never forgets. So you come back, even if you're vindicated in some manner, or if you're found guilty, but it's so insignificant a sentence that nobody really thinks of it as a sentence. You see where I'm going with this, by the way? Yeah, there isn't a version of this where scorched earth has helped you. If anything, for engagement, you should have just kept your stuff up and just ignored the alerts. And then when you come back, if you're vindicated, simply ask for an apology. But I look forward to seeing you trying to prove your innocence, because you have in fact pled not guilty to the charge, which I find fascinating, and I'm sure my audience does too. So please do let me know in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, smash the like, please consider sharing it. If I don't see you on Twitch tonight, because yes, I'm streaming there, have a fantastic day, and thank you all very much for listening.